Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder. If you haven't seen already, I uploaded a team analysis on my Mega Salamence team earlier today. That analysis is basically going to kick off a series where I talk about a team I've used in VGC 2015. So it's a really exciting series and I hope you guys enjoy it. Please check that out if you have not already. A lot of you guys have been asking for, the EV spreads and movesets that I've been using on that team, so I think it'll provide you some pretty good information. Today we'll be returning with the same team as last game, last episode, with Tailwind, Suicune, Life Orb, Terrakion, Kangaskhan, Heatran, Sylveon, and Zapdos. Rating currently is 1659, so we're pretty close to 1700, so we should be getting matched up with pretty decent opponents at this rate, as our first opponent of the day is going to be a 1633 rated player from Japan, and she's got a team of Charizard, Landorus, Thundurus, Sylveon, Heatran, and the Superior. Very nice. So I really want to bring Suicune here, but I don't know, it's not exactly the best. Though with Snarl, it can actually really help out because my opponent's team, 5 of the 6 Pokemon, is specially oriented, and the one that's not, Landorus, Suicune can beat, so that'll be interesting. I definitely want to lead with Kangaskhan here. I feel like my opponent's going to lead with Landorus. I really feel the Landorus and Thundurus leads coming out. I'm going to go Kangaskhan, Suicune with Terrakion's pretty solid here. Well, I don't know. If I can set up a Tailwind, I think Heatran and Terrakion are the way to go for this one. Sylveon's alright too, but I don't know. It just can't do anything against Heatran and Charizard. So no, I'm gonna go with those 4 and lock in. Definitely a really interesting team on my opponent's end. I mean, a lot of standard Pokemon, but I feel like normally you'd see Kangaskhan over that Charizard slot, so it's pretty cool to see Charizard here. My best bet is it's Charizard Y, especially because it's next to a Heatran, but Drought can actually help my Heatran in this match as well, because Heat Wave does really well against obviously the Superior, against the Sylveon, which it kind of walls. So we have 3 of the same Pokemon in Sylveon, Heatran, and, excuse me, not 3 of the same Pokemon, in just Sylveon and Heatran, but I feel like, I don't know, Charizard's not really the best Pokemon for my opponent to even bring in this match because of Terrakion, which effectively counters it really hard by just outspeeding it and one-hit KOing it with Rock Slide. But this should be an interesting match. I do want to try to not get that Terrakion paralyzed though, as it does not have Lumberry anymore. I mentioned earlier that it carries Life Orb because I wanted to test that out with Tailwind from the Suicune. But I'm going to go with Kangaskhan, Suicune here, as my opponent leads with Charizard, I think, and Thundurus. Wow, not the leads I was expecting, but alright. So, let's see. I'm gonna Mega Evolve, fake out this Thundurus, and go straight for the yeah, I'm gonna go for the Tailwind. This Charizard lead is really good for my opponent because it ensures that at least one Pokemon's gonna get paralyzed, and now I really do wish I had Lumberry on the Terrakion rather than Life Orb, because for example, if I had Lumberry, I'd be guaranteed a Tailwind up here. Charizard would probably, Heat Wave or maybe Solar Beam, and then the next turn, Terrakion would be able to come in for free, or should my opponent overheat Kangaskhan for a KO, Terrakion could come in for free and Rock Slide without having to worry about getting paralyzed. But this should be an interesting first turn, as I am going to Mega Evolve, and that's going to allow me to get a Fake Out off. As you know, I was running Protect on Kangaskhan before, but I kind of like Fake Out more, especially next to Suicune for the Tailwind support, as Charizard also Mega Evolves here. I'm curious how fast that Charizard is, since seeing my Mega Evolution went before it. That's going to set up Drought. So Charizard most likely going for attack here because it's rare to Mega Evolve Charizard. And yep, it's not going to Protect here. So at least I get a Fake Out on Thundurus, but let's see if it has like Rocky Helmet. It does have Rocky Helmet, wow. As in my Thundurus analysis, I mentioned a bunch of items it could have, so I'm guessing Charizard here probably went for a Heat Wave. Yeah. That might not take out Kangaskhan since I am pretty especially bulky. Yes, I hang on. Nice, with 19 HP. As Suicune does get a Tailwind up as well, so pretty optimal first turn there for me. Now, let's see. The issue here is if I double edge into that Thundurus, I'm going to take myself out after one hit from the Rocky Helmet. I kind of want to double edge the Charizard and Snarl or Ice Beam? I'm gonna Snarl, I think. Well, then Ice Beam. Well, it's in. The thing is, that Thundurus is already in. Well, I'm gonna Ice Beam it just so I can 2-hit KO it. Should he? Oh, he does protect with the Charizard, so good play here. Let's see what the Thundurus goes for. T-Wave into probably Suicune. Oh, Kangaskhan actually. Interesting. That play doesn't make much sense to me, and now I'm kind of mad I didn't Double Edge, and oh, I get the full para too, but Suicune at least gets an Ice Beam off here. And that does put it in KO range for another Ice Beam to knock it out, which is at least nice. We're probably going to see a Thunder Wave onto the Suicune here and a Heat Wave come out. So I could actually switch out to my Heatran here to take the Heat Wave, but then too many of my Pokemon would get paralyzed. Actually, no. That's fine. Well, I could also just Sucker Punch Ice Beam here. But I do want that Flash Fire boost. You know what? I'm going to go for it. That way I can bring in Kangaskhan and Fake Out once again, allowing me to even set up a substitute later on in the match. So I'm going to play it a bit safer here. There's really not much I'm worried about here. I guess my opponent might have Thunder Wave that spot, expecting me to switch out, but that was not going to be the case. Wow! He doesn't even go for the T-Wave there with Thundurus, which actually plays out perfectly. So I get an Ice Beam to knock out the Thundurus without having to even worry about getting paralyzed, which is nice because I do have one last turn of Tailwind, and he does go for the Heat Wave, and I get that Flash Fire boost, which is fantastic. So that turn could not have played out much better, honestly. Hopefully no burn here on Suicune. Good. Not in Citrus range, but we're going to see what my opponent brings in here. I guess Landorus maybe, though Suicune still does have another turn of Tailwind up. I actually don't know what Pokemon that is. Oh, that's why. Pretty cool to see. I'm going to set up a sub here and go for a Snarl, given that I've got one last turn of Tailwind here. We see a Protect coming out, which makes perfect sense. Probably going to see a Solar Beam into the Suicune, but this substitute's going to be huge for me. Yep. This is why I love Sub Heatran so much, especially with Tailwind, because on that last turn, your opponent's going to really want to burn that last turn of Tailwind up, but not going to be the case here. And I'm going to be able to decrease this Charizard special attack, which is really nice. It's probably going to... Oh, what? Oh my god. It has Focus Blast, guys. Focus Blast! You know that move with really bad accuracy? I made a joke on Twitter yesterday saying how, like, Focus Blast is such a cool animation because the game wants to reward you for actually getting one off, but that was not what I was anticipating. That's slightly problematic. Though now that I got the Snarl off, I don't think he can KO me with the Focus Blast, should he even hit one. So I'm going to Heat Wave here. And... If my opponent's... I don't think my opponent's last one is Landorus, because if it was, he probably would have brought it in here. But I don't know, maybe I should sack Kangaskhan. But then Kangaskhan would allow me to get a Fake Out. So you know what? I'm just going to go for the Tailwind here. We're probably going to see a Leaf Storm come out. But that Snarl should actually really help me in surviving a Focus Blast. But man, Focus Blast Charizard, are you serious? You don't see that every day. As Charizard actually switches out, that's even better for me. Whatever coming... That Landorus is taking a Heat Wave to his face. And that's actually, I'm now really glad I conserved Kangaskhan in the back, because if it's Scarf Landorus, I can just fake it out for the next. Ooh, it goes for the Glare. Oh man, he's going for the Paras. He's going for the... Oh, but I get the Heat Wave off, and it connects. Thank you, God. As, oh wow, Heat Wave actually knocks out the Landorus. Of course, I did get that Flash Fire boost, which was really helpful, so man, I could not have been happier for getting that switch in. And the Glare makes sense there, seeing how my opponent had no other play, but Suicune gets the Tailwind up now, and there's really nothing my opponent can do at this rate. So man, what a crazy game. This really highlights the power of Suicune and Heatran, I think. As, not much more to say. I mean, just getting that Tailwind up immediately really helped. Thundurus not paralyzing the Suicune helped out a lot as well. And I'm really happy I switched out Kangaskhan for Heatran now, because that Flash Fire boost ended up proving essential, as I'm guessing that was Scarf Landorus. But Sun boosted Flash Fire Heatran's Heat Waves. It's a monster. I'm just going to Heat Wave and Snarl here. I mean, I've got Terrakion and Kangaskhan in the back. My opponent here has no options, really, to even try to win this match. I guess if you really wanted to, you'd have to crit every attack, since these Snarls are going to be decreasing the special attack of that Charizard as well. So I don't think Focus Blast can even KO here, if it even hits. And it does connect, so my opponent hitting 2 Focus Blasts in a row. And that animation... What? Targeting Suicune? Okay. Maybe it doesn't have Solar Beam then, and it was predicting Heatran to Protect, but there's really no reason for me to Protect. And wow, single target Sun boosted +1 Flash Fire Heat Wave. There's so much damage there. But yeah, man, I couldn't have asked for a better game to highlight Snarl, Suicune, and Sub Heatran, and it really showed the essence of that team. So just going to continue to Snarl. But yeah, the reason why I'm so surprised to see Focus Blast from Charizard is because it's a really rare move in VGC. I know back when I played singles it was used a bit more, but the thing is Focus Blast's accuracy is terrible in VGC, and like, you know, moves like Rock Slide with 90 accuracy and Draco Meteor are already hard enough to hit, so that's why we don't see Focus Blast that much. But a good example of it being on a team was, I think, Ashton Cox's US Nationals team. If you guys watched the national stream from last year, he was able to hit a Focus Blast with Heliolisk against a Tyranitar, and it actually ended up winning. So that was a really crazy match. But yeah, we don't see Focus Blast that much in VGC, and having Snarl Suicune actually really helped out because they basically forced the switch out, and then Heatran was free to get that Heat Wave. But thank goodness I was able to connect there, as the second opponent today is going to be a 1700 rated player from Japan. So really, really good first game for today, as the second opponent here also has a pretty cool team featuring Entei, so Battle of the Legendaries here, with Thundurus, Gardevoir, Hydreigon, Mienshao, Entei, and Gastrodon coming out. So another Thundurus, which is definitely annoying to deal with. Let's see, I don't want to just lead with Kangaskhan here because Kangaskhan does not do very well against the Mienshao, but I'm going to lead with Sylveon, which is a pretty safe lead, and I think I want to go with Suicune to try to get up a Tailwind immediately, though I'm also tempted to go with Thundurus. I'm going to have to conserve my Kangaskhan because I have no really other good way to beat that Gastrodon, and I'm guessing Gardevoir on my opponent's team is the Mega. Also, I have to try to knock out this Thundurus as quickly as possible, like I did this last match, because otherwise it can just spread paralysis, which I really, really don't want to deal with. I'm going to go with Zapdos, actually, because I can paralyze the Mienshao. So, Zapdos, Sylveon, Kangaskhan, and Terrakion, I think. I don't know, do I want Suicune in this match? The thing is, he can redirect my Scalds away with the Gastrodon, which I obviously don't want to deal with. But I can get Snarls off, so I don't know. Let's see. Definitely going to keep Heatran out this one, though. Gastrodon, I guess, walls that too much. Which is funny, because I actually ran HP Grass on my Heatran in the 2013 World Championships just to beat Gastrodon. Didn't actually use it in the set, or any of my sets, but could have helped out. I don't know, I feel like Mienshao Thundurus is going to be my opponent's lead here. That's what I'm most prepared for right now, at least. So, you know what, I'm going to go Sylveon and Zapdos, yeah. And I'll have Kang in the back, and you know what, King Terrakion beats my opponent's team pretty hard already, so I'm just going to go with those. I'm going to lock in. I think I'm going to switch back to Lumberry on Terrakion after this match, though. I've just run into way too many Thunduruses and way too many games where I could actually really take in a paralysis and use it to my advantage. But the Mienshao, the Entei, and the Gardevoir are all and the Gastrodon are all pretty interesting picks on my opponent's team. Definitely a really neat team to feature, so I'm excited for this battle. Gardevoir, like I said, is most likely Mega, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm probably going to switch out to Mega Gardevoir in a future episode because I think it's really good with Tailwind support. Whereas Kangaskhan's like, oh, Kangaskhan fits on any team, so I can just throw it on. But I'm going to go with Specs Sylveon and Rocky Helmet Zapdos here, as we do see Mienshao Thundurus. So I did predict that lead correctly, at least. I feel like we're going to see the Fake Out onto the Sylveon. I don't know what the Thundurus is going to go for, though. Maybe it's going to taunt my Zapdos? Or maybe it's just going to Thunder Wave Sylveon. I'm going to Hyper Voice here for sure. And you know what? I'm going to predict the taunt, and I'm just going to go for the T-Bolt onto the Mienshao. Fake Out does go out onto Sylveon, as expected. We do see the taunt, so I do predict it correctly. So that's going to help out a lot, because that's going to put this Mienshao in KO range from another T-Bolt, I think. Unless it's really, really defensive, but not... Man, that T-Bolt does so much. Now, I'm just gonna go... I wonder if that has Rock Slide, but you know what, I'm just gonna Hyper Voice here. And... Good Heat Wave, but I don't really want to risk missing it. Let's see. Yep, definitely gonna go for Hyper Voice. And you know what, I'm gonna T-Bolt the Thundurus. Because I can just fake out my... ooh! Wide Guard coming out. Good play there. So that's going to prevent me from, obviously attacking here, as he does get a T-Bolt onto my Zapdos, and that does a lot of damage, as my Zapdos is going to get to return this Thunderbolt back, but, wow, look, that must be a really offensive Thundurus, seeing how much I'm doing there. So I'm actually just going to Hyper Voice once again, and T-Bolt, should he choose to Wide Guard once again, I'm just going to be able to knock out the Thundurus with Thunderbolt, and should he choose not to Wide Guard, Sylveon should be able to knock out both with a Hyper Voice. So I've got my opponent in a pretty tough position right now, I think. Though I think I should have predicted the wide guard. It's a move that you should often associate with Mienshao, so I think I should have Psy Shock there instead of Hyper Voicing carelessly, but you know what, I'll take the first 2 turns. I got a lot of damage off, and so far my Pokemon are definitely not as weakened, though Mienshao and Thundurus are outspeeding me right now, which is the main concern. But we've seen Fake Out, we've seen Wide Guard from that Mienshao, so I'm guessing he's got a fighting type attack. It does just go for another Wide Guard, so, you know, it makes sense protecting it from these, Mienshao Hyper Voices, but I'm going to be able to knock out the Thundurus here with a T-Bolt. So 4-3 in my favor now, and that Mienshao is in KO range. Let's see what comes out as my opponent's slot. Taunt also wears off, so I can actually potentially Roost here. But I do want to knock out this Mienshao because I've got Terrakion and Kangaskhan in the back. I think that's Hydreigon coming in for my opponent here. Oh, nope, excuse me, it's actually Gardevoir. I keep on mixing the two because oh, it gets Pixelite actually. But excuse me, I keep on mixing the two because of the letters. Gardevoir and Hydreigon share the same opening letters. I'm going to go for another Hyper Voice here. And I'm going to... Let's see. I really wonder if Mienshao is Rock Slide or not, because if it does, I feel like it would have gone for it already, but... I'm going to Hyper Voice, and... I'm gonna T-Wave, or do I want to Roost through its Zapdos? Gardevoir's probably gonna Mega Evolve and just go for Hyper Voice, though. I kinda want to just T-Wave here. Yeah, because I should outspeed Gardevoir. As it is Mega Gardevoir, so that's really cool to see. So Mega Gardevoir facing off against Sylveon here. Let's see if he goes for the Wide Guard with the, Oh, he does have Rock Slide. He does have Rock Slide. Okay. So that does confirm my suspicions. As it does KO Zapdos. This might be bad. I think he's going to outspeed me here with the Gardevoir. Oh, Imprison! Nice. Nice. Very cool to see. And that was a very bad turn last turn for me. Especially because I did not bring Heatran into this match because of how many Pokemon he had to counter Heatran, which I think is a testament to how good my opponent built the team. Or, you know, when you see Gardevoir, you want to bring Heatran, but then there are so many Pokemon that beat Heatran on my opponent's team, like the Gastrodon, so that's why I didn't bring it, and it's not helpful right now. Who do I want to bring in now? I think I have to bring in Kang. Whoa, this is tough. I don't know, I don't want to switch out Sylveon. I think I have to Fake Out Mienshao here, take the Hyper Voice. I can't switch out to Terrakion. Now it's one of the cases where I wish I had Protect, but you know what? Man, Imprison, that is so cool. Fake out the Mienshao. And a bunch of you guys have actually mentioned it earlier before. You know, like, is Imprison Gardevoir a viable way to shut down Sylveon? Well, there you go. So I'm going to Mega Evolve and pick up the KO here onto Mienshao with this Fake Out. Hopefully, Kangaskhan should be able to take a Hyper Voice, and then I can get the Terrakion out for free. Unless the Gardevoir doesn't knock out my Sylveon here with Hyper Voice, which would be bad, actually, for me. But I think it will. As it does go for the Hyper Voice. Oh, curse me for having such a bulky Sylveon. As I get a Struggle off all that sick damage. Oh, but I KO myself. Okay, that actually ends up working out because I get the free switch in Terrakion, which I was hoping for. So that's fine. But it's going to come down to what my opponent's last Pokemon is. This is a pretty crazy match. Very nice Gardevoir on my opponent's end. I think that's... Oh, Gastrodon. Okay. Well, that's a really nice animation there. It's like... Now I can see if that Gardevoir has Protect. Yep, it does have Protect. Which is one of the cool things about Imprison. You can kind of scout out for your opponent. I don't know. I could Rock Slide here. See, the thing is, Rock Slide gives me the chance of flinching, which is good in the late game. But I could also... I mean, if I double up into Gastrodon with Close Combat Double Edge, I just lose because Hyper Voice is going to beat me. But the question is here whether Gardevoir wants to Protect or not. If he Protects and I predict the Protect and KO Gastrodon, then I win. But if he doesn't Protect, then I would need to target it. This is really difficult. Really, really difficult. Well, if I were my opponent, what would I do? I don't think I would Protect. let's say it doesn't protect, and I double target it with the double edge Rock Slide to KO it. Gastrodon's gonna be able to. Gastrodon can't even knock out Kangaskhan. So you know what? I'm gonna Rock Slide and double edge. I don't think he's gonna protect. He's gonna protect. Oh, I wish I had like one more second to make my moves there. That was my mistake. I really thought he might have just hyped. So I can still win if I get the flinch here, but man, I really should have played that better. But I get the flinch. Oh my gosh. So now I can just Rock Slide once again and double edge. But yeah, you guys knew that I called the protect right after I locked my moves in, so I should have doubled into the Gastrodon. But I got very lucky with that flinch. I'm guessing he would have targeted Terrakion there with like an Earth Power. I'm actually not sure if it would KO, depending on how bulky the Gastrodon is, because sometimes Gastrodons in VGC tend to run no bulk, or no offense at all, going for full bulk, but other players have decided to run more bulk into it. So we're going to see what my opponent goes for there. But I'm mad because if I had just gone for the play, which I was predicting to protect, had I just close combated double edge the Gastrodon, it would have been a guaranteed win. Instead, now I'm playing for chances once again. It's going to come down to damage rolls and whether he gets a double protect off should my opponent go for it. Oh, this is intense though. This is really intense. Two really fantastic games in today's episode, which I'm really happy to feature. Lots of cool Pokemon, and man, that first game still, I'm really happy that Suicune just put in so much work. No protects coming out here, so I do get a Rock Slide off. And wow, that does so much to the Gardevoir. So maybe I should have just double edge close combated instead. Oh, wow. I am very, very lucky. You guys saw there, the Gardevoir outsped my Kangaskhan, which was not what I was anticipating. I don't think my opponent was anticipating that either. As we see the Earth Power go onto Kangaskhan. So, I should have lost this game, I think. Well, had I not gone for that misplay earlier on... I mean, actually, no. I was not anticipating that Gardevoir... Oh, wow. What did I just do? I just Sucker Punched instead of double edging. But Close Combat picks up the knockout there anyway. Anyway, I feel bad because that was a game I don't think I should have ended up winning. Because my Kangaskhan's so bulky, it actually wasn't able to take the Hyper Voice off there. So you saw I got the flinch against Gardevoir in the end, which was so fortunate. Obviously, if I didn't get that flinch, he would have been able to just Hyper Voice me and KO both of my Pokemon that turn. So I got very lucky there, and I might be running faster Kangaskhan just for that reason because Gardevoir should not be outspeeding Kangaskhan. But man, what a crazy set of matches today. You know, once again, had I just made that right play that one turn, double targeted Gastrodon, all I had to do the following turn was Sucker Punch Rock Slide. Though, the thing is, because I didn't know it was fast Gardevoir, I probably would have just double edged instead of Rock Sliding. So that Speedy Gardevoir was, I think, my opponent's ace, but the Rock Slide flinch ended up helping out a lot in the end. So that's why Rock Slide is one of the stupidest, most broken moves in VGC, and flinches can always just turn a match around. So hope you guys enjoyed that match. It was a really crazy episode today. You know, first game just featured Suicune and Heatran to the fullest, and second game I got very lucky in the end to win. But you know, that's Pokemon for you. There's always RNG involved. But hope you guys enjoyed that match. As always, leave a like if you did. Don't forget to check out the Salamence team analysis if you have not already. And that's it for today, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, peace.